I'm Mike from Warmup. Today I'd like to show you guys how easy it is to connect our HTMK SR kit to our unjacketed self-regulating wire for your next pipe freezing project. So let's go. You need a couple tools. So one thing that we recommend definitely is some kind of wire cutters, screwdriver, Phillips, and also something a little sharp such as maybe a smaller screwdriver or even a pencil. Now, the kit actually comes in a bag like this, and normally you'll find this in your local distributor such as your plumbing wholesalers and also your electrical supply houses as well. Inside the kit comes the actual HTMK. And in this right here, what you'll see is there's a 3-foot plug to plug into your 120 volt outlet. And here's where you're doing the connecting. So starting off, it also comes with a gel end cap, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. First, once you've sized up your wire, and this is just a sample wire, but once you've sized up your wire according to your pipes and how it's going, thickness-wise and length-wise, you want to make sure that you first, on one end, the one that you want to connect to this, where you're going to plug it in, is you're going to cut it with your wire cutters nice and straight. From here, we're going to unscrew the 2 little screws, fold it back. You don't actually have to take the screws out. You can just loosen them up and eventually so you don't lose them. The next thing is you'll find that there's 2 screws there on top as well on the inside. And those are for each terminal, for the power. You also will see there's a little area here, and that's for your ground. So I'll show you. First thing is we want to loosen up these screws. You don't have to take them out, just loosen them up. Next, you grab one end of the cable that you're going to use to connect to the HTMK. And basically you're going to cut it nice and straight there. You're going to have the inside. So you're going to pull back the braided ground. And now you have basically on the inside, you have a jacket wire. There's a matrix in there. That's the part that actually reacts to the cold. So the colder it gets, the more heat output it puts out. That's why it's called self-regulating as opposed to a constant wattage wire. And that's the benefit also of using this in climates where are extremely cold and is able to keep up with the cold. So the colder it gets, the more heat it puts out. You take that and then there's 2 little bus bars in there, basically 2 core conductors. We want to pull this back. There is a space right in there, a little hole right in there that you can actually push the wire all the way through. Once you've loosened up the screw, it should allow you to go all the way to the back. And once you have done that, the next part that you have to do, you just have to tighten up these 2 screws. Now these 2 screws are positioned in an area where as the screw gets screwed down, it is going to pierce the wire on a particular bus bar. So therefore, it eliminates you having to strip the wire down, to shrink tube it, all that connection nonsense that takes a lot of time and effort. You can eliminate all this with the HTMK. Okay, that's connected. The next part that you want is you want to make sure that this braid, the ground, right, that you want to make sure that it still connects to, there is a part for the ground on the bottom. It just needs to touch it. You just want to make sure that you put those wires nice in there, as compact as possible, but without touching any of these bus bars, specifically the 2 core connectors here. All you really have to do now is close it, put the screws back on. It's nice and tight. Now the only thing you have left to do is to do the other end. Now the other end, as I mentioned, you can cut this to the size that you want. Once you have determined that, one end is the connection, the other end is you have to use an end cap, which actually comes with the kit. Now it does have a gel inside there. So again, no shrink tube, no butt connectors, nothing that is needed besides the fact that you definitely don't want to have the ground inside the bottom. So what normally you'll do, and this is why I mentioned it to you, either a pencil or a very thin screwdriver, is you kind of want to unbraid that wire. Now again, you can use the screwdriver. There's all different things that you can use, but you want to have about the last inch to 3/4 of an inch for it to fit inside the gel cap. So the first thing you do is, again, you pull the braid back. You're going to twist the braid together and almost like wrap it around. You can even use a little bit of duct tape to hold that in place. Once this is done, the last step is just piercing this part into the end cap, into the gel. So you're gonna push, and eventually it will go through. There you go. We have now connected the one end here, and you have finished at the end of your job with the end cap there. The only thing left to do, you don't have to, and again, just a quick little tidbit, you don't have to take any of the glue off. It eventually will dry off completely. And the next thing left to do now is for you to put this and plug it in. We connected the HTMK SR kit to our self-regulating wire. As we see, end result, fairly easy to do. Want to thank you for your time. If you guys like to add some comment, feel free. And also, don't forget, we're always updating our YouTube page, so don't forget to subscribe. I think it's down here. Maybe it's up there. I don't know, somewhere. But subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thank you for your time.